Okay, time has come to finish the neck, and I've sanded it twice up to 600 grit and oiled it also twice, like in between, and now it's like nice and ready to put on some polish. Also, I should mention that I've wet sanded it, so you see the curly maple coming through, and the wet sanding really helps to get a deeper effect. Also the oil helps, of course. And yeah, so the first layer will be just some shellac, and yeah, I'm using the old pad, and let's see how this goes. I think I'll change it to like a fresh location, so the shellac can come through. And in the first, oh, there we go. In the first round, we just want to apply some shellac on the surface, and then we're gonna use that to fill the pores. But yeah, basically no pores because I've sanded it so much and oiled it twice and done all these things. So it's going to be a quite fast process. And I'm using like this clamp fixture to hold the neck, and I'm turning it. Gonna do the other side. I'm gonna go for the pore filling, so some shellac on the pad, and see that the shellac is like coming through, so you feel it, it's wet. I like a little bit of pumice and a drop of oil, and kind of work it in. And then really light pressure, so we don't have like a big chunk of pumice anywhere sticking. I think I'll add more oil. So we got the shellac on there, and we got the pumice, and now we just need to push it around so the pumice gets pushed into the pores, and the shellac that's on there is enough to bind it. and we don't build up anything really. Okay, now I think I got enough pumice on there, so you can see here is like a layer of pumice on the pad, and there it's like worked out, so it's kind of worked into the wood now. And yeah, I now have to build up the coat, and if I would add more pumice, it would just cluster up on the finish, and yeah, it wouldn't look good. So it's very little pore filling, and yeah, that's like one of the reasons why French polishing a guitar neck is quite easy and quite fast. You can basically polish it in one sitting. Now I got a hole in the fabric, so I just move it. I always leave the fabric like twice or 3 times as big as I need, so I can just move it around a little bit when I get a hole in it. also good to switch the spot when you've done pore filling, so you got like a fresh piece of cloth. Feels much smoother. As you can see, it's all already quite, yeah, already looks finished. But I'll have to kind of build up a little bit of a coat. And it feels like really slick already. It starts to be sticky now, so I won't add any more shellac, only drop of oil, and I'm gonna polish out what's on there, and then it's gonna be enough for this coat. At this point I'm not really putting on anything anymore. It's just, yeah, polishing it, like pushing around the polish, so in the next session I won't have to even out the surface. And basically you could say you're finished and call it a day. Because we got like a really shiny and finished looking polish on there. But I'll apply like at least one more coat and then polish it with some polishing compound. I really want to have like a little bit more on there. Okay, it's the next day of, or the second day of polishing this neck, and to start off I'm gonna use a very fine sanding pad to sand the surface a little bit, just to get back to a nice flat surface. And as I said in the other video, the main thing here is I want to get like a flat surface, and then basically I'm finished. And the polishing itself kind of leaves a little bit of unevenness, and yeah, I just want to take that out so the next layer will get on much easier. It's like sanding in between when you do like a normal finish, sanding in between the layers of the coats. From now on I really want to make sure that I only apply very thin coats. So the pad is quite dry and I use a drop of oil every time. Always work in the pad a little bit, so when you put on fresh shellac and oil, and also you can kind of feel how wet it is, and yeah, that's like the reason why I don't use gloves. I got like a much better feeling, and if you do it right you don't get like dirty hands, a lot of polish on your hands. It's it's like a sign that you're doing things right if your hands keep clean. So if you use too much, the pad will kind of be wet, and your right hand will take on a lot of polish, and you'll have to clean your hands later. But if you do it right, you don't have to do that. I feel now that the surface is getting quite tacky, and that's a sign to ease off with the shellac and kind of only put some drop of oil on the pad, and now I'm gonna polish out what's on there. Then I'm gonna wait until a couple of hours until the coat grip has dried, and then I'll apply another one. Alright, next session, and before I start I'll go over it very quickly with some micro mesh, like 2400 grit. It's not really taking away any polish, it's just to yet again level the playing field. So it's quite glossy already. I think I'll go for another round, and then maybe tomorrow the final session. But as you can see, it's quite fast. If you sanded the wood correctly, it's like super fast. Okay, second day now, and as usual I'll start with some light sanding, and the surface looks quite flat, so just a little bit. Theoretically I could start polishing it already, but yeah, it's better to have a little bit more polish on there, especially on the the part where you play. I'd like to have like a good amount of shellac built up. It's quite hard to do like the top of the neck, because I always have to have constant pressure on the surface, and yeah, it's really hard to kind of go around there and have like constant pressure. So what I sometimes do is like do little circles around this place. Also, it's quite, yeah, could say I've designed the guitar for French polish so I can get in there, but actually I didn't. But yeah, it's quite good to polish, because there's like no sharp edges, no corners. Everything flows like the pad. Okay, second round. I want to try something different now. Put the oil in the pad, because we are quite far in the process, and it helps to get on like a really fine layer. The oil helps to make the French or the shellac like sink in. so it's got like time to sink in before it hardens, and yeah, really gives you a nice glossy finish. So this will be the final round for the headstock. Just use a little bit of shellac and put I think the equal amount of oil in the pad. Kind of mix it a little bit. Always make sure the pad is not too wet and not too dry. Okay, I think the neck is now ready to be glued on, and I want to wait a little bit, like when the guitar is all put together, then I'm gonna start maybe using some polishing compound, but as you can see it's not really necessary. It's already very glossy. And yeah, I think that wraps up the episode, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you maybe try out to do some French polishing yourself, because it's like it's just a nice thing to do, and it's like a steep learning curve, but if you get the hang of it, it's like really nice, and you always learn something new. It's always a little bit challenging, and yeah. So thanks for watching this episode, and see you next time.